Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your very own IVR inbound call directory workflow within GoHighLevel. So I've noticed on YouTube, I've seen a few people doing it, and I felt like they really haven't tapped into the full potential that this system has. So I'm going to do a series of videos on different IVR flows, starting with this one. So in this video, we're just going to go through the basics of how you can set yours up so you can better understand how it works. So let's go ahead and get out of this workflow, and we're going to start from scratch. So we're going to create a new workflow. We're going to select Start from Scratch. Okay, and the first thing I want to do is I just want to label this workflow IVR inbound call. Okay. Now, once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select our trigger. So for this, our trigger is going to be the Start IVR trigger. Now, from here, you're going to get to select what phone number you want to use for this trigger. To note that you can only have one IVR trigger per phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my trigger on my other workflow so that way I can show you how this works. Okay, so okay, so now that I've removed my phone number from my other workflow, I'm going to go ahead and use it in this one. So as you can see, we have selected the Start IVR trigger. Our phone number is going to be our toll-free number. Now you can choose any number on your account that you want to be using for this. Additionally, you can add filters. So you can add filters based on the status of the call. Okay, so now I've added my phone number in. I'm going to go ahead and save this trigger. All right, so now we need to do our first action. So for the first action, we're going to hit the plus button, and then we're going to scroll all the way down to IVR. Now for this, we're going to select Gather Input on Call. Okay. So from this action, what this is going to let us do is we're either going to play a message. So if you already have a pre-recorded IVR message that you want it to say, you can go ahead and upload that file here. Or additionally, you can actually write out a message and paste it right in here. So this is called text to say. So this is what the bot is going to say. Now below, it's going to ask you language. So I believe we only have English right now, but I'm guessing GoHighLevel is going to add some more in here later on. And then additionally, you can select whether you want it to be a male voice or a female voice. Now the number of loops, this is going to be the number of times that it's going to play if somebody hasn't selected a directory number yet. So you can select this to loop it 5 times or only once. It just depends on what you would like it to do. And then stop gathering after seconds. So right here you can see that this is the set the time in seconds for the caller to input by pressing a key. So this is the amount of time that somebody has to actually press a key to be directed. So I'm going to give somebody, let's just say 15 seconds. Okay, and then go ahead and this trigger right here, it will stop gathering as soon as that key is pressed. So once they press the number 5, it's going to move them to the next step in our automation. Okay, now we're going to, oh, here we go. So for stop gathering after digits, we're going to select 1. So again, this means that once they've clicked a digit, they're not going to stay here. They're going to go ahead and move to our next step. So we're going to go ahead and save that. And so the message, the text to say, it's important to note that you can actually use custom values here. So for instance, you could put hi, and you can actually put contact first name. And if the contact is already somebody who exists in your system with their name on file and their phone number on file, then when they call in, it's going to actually say their name. So I think this is pretty cool. You could use this, or you could just take the name out of there, whatever you want to do. And then additionally, you can also put location name. So if you're creating a snapshot, say you're an agency owner and you want to be able to implement something in all of your sub accounts, you can actually use custom value of the location name instead of actually typing it out. And then additionally, you can create custom values for option 1, option 2, and option 3. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we're going to do this. Okay, so I went ahead and I created my first input message. So you might be reading this and you might be wondering, why does it just say press 1 for, and then there's really no answer? The reason for this is because we're going to go ahead and create custom values, so that way we can plug and play this into any of our sub accounts. So let's go back into our HighLevel account, and let's go ahead and go into our settings, and let's go to custom values. Okay, now here what you're going to do is you're going to add a new custom value, and you're going to label it option 1. Okay, now label it option 1 and then go ahead and put in what you want the value to be. So if you're doing this for your account as a test, you can go ahead and put sales as option 1 as the value for that, and then you're going to go ahead and create. And then once you create it, it's going to look like this, and it's going to give you the key. Okay, so what you're going to need to do is you're going to want to copy this key and then go back into your spreadsheet, and you're going to want to paste it. Now when I do this, I always remove the spaces between the brackets and the lettering or the numbers. So you're going to do that for each one of these. So go ahead and create 3 options and then paste them in. Now additionally, if you are a company and you are doing, let's just say you do multiple things. So say you do windows, roofing, and solar. Instead of putting sales, support, and inquiries, you can actually put option 1 as solar, option 2 as windows, and option 3 as roofing. So that's just a thought there. So once you've done this, you're going to go ahead and copy this message. Okay. And you're going to go back into your automation, select your gather input trigger. So go back into automations, we're going to select this, and we're going to paste this in as the text to say. So go ahead and paste this and hit save action. Now if you want to test this action right now to make sure it's working, go ahead and call your IVR trigger number. So let's go ahead and call this number and make sure that this is working.
Hi, thank you for calling demo account. Let us get you in touch with the right person. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for support. Press 3 for inquiries. To repeat this menu, press 0. Thank you for calling demo account. Hi.
Okay, so as you can see, it did read it off, and it did go and read off the custom values. So that is correct. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to create the if-else sequencing for when somebody presses 1, 2, 3, or 0. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add in an if-else action. So we're going to scroll down here, select if-else. Now we're going to label the condition name as call input. Okay, and the first one is going to be 1. So you're going to go to your segment and you're going to select IVR gather, number 1 gather input on call, digits. Okay, we're going to select is and then put in the number 1. Now we're going to do the same thing here. This one's going to be for number 2. We're going to select IVR gather, hit the number 1 gather input on call, and then select digits, and then put is and then the number 2. And then we're going to do the same thing for number 3 and for the 0. So IVR gather, number 1, digits. Okay, and go ahead and save this. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go back into my first action, and I'm going to replace this with 0 number of loops because I don't want it to repeat this first message of saying hi. And also I found that when you do have it repeat itself, it repeats so fast and it doesn't really seem natural, and I would rather it have a slight pause. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and 0 as our directory, and then of course none. So for none, this would basically be if the person never hits a number. So let's go ahead and create our number 1 flow. So for this one, in this video, we're doing option 1. So what we need to do is we're going to say gather input on call again. Okay. So for this message, this is going to be able to give them an option for if they're reaching sales, do they want to get a quote? Do they want to schedule a consultation, or do they want to speak to a live agent? So it'll give them 3 separate options here again. So let's go ahead and create our messaging for this as well. Okay, so now I've created my message inputs for my next actions. So for number 1, this is if they select sales. So their options for this one are going to be to get a free estimate, to schedule a consultation, or to speak to a live agent. For input number 2, so this would be support, press 1 to report an issue, press 2 to schedule a consultation, and then press 3 to speak to a live agent. And then for number 4, or for number 3, they're going to press 1 to leave their inquiry, or press 2 to speak to a live agent. And then the last one, input number 0, this is just going to repeat the same message over again, but without the introduction. So it's just going to start saying press 1 for sales, press 2 for support, press 3 for inquiries, and then to repeat this menu, press 0. So that's what it's going to say. So let's go ahead and complete this. So we have started adding our action for call input number 1. So we're going to go ahead and have it say the message. We're going to copy our text here, go ahead and paste it in, and then we're going to have it loop 2 times, and then we're going to have it stop gathering after 15 seconds again. Okay. And now we're going to hit save action. Alright, now we're going to basically copy this action, and we're going to put it into the number 2 column here. And we're going to go over to our spreadsheet, copy the message we've written, and paste it in as well. And go ahead and hit save, and then we're going to continue to do this for the next 2. So let's just copy this. Okay. Now for this one, I'm going to remove where it says to repeat this. I'm just going to take that out there. So that way it's going to leave them the option to press 1, 2, or 3, and then it's going to go ahead and loop, let's say 5 times. Go ahead and hit save. Okay, so from here we need to start building out what we want to happen. So again, we've now given them 3 additional options for if they hit number 1. So we're going to do another if-else sequence. Okay, so again, we're going to put IVR gather, and this one is going to be for gather number 2. So keep in mind when you're doing the if-else, you're going to need to select the one that it's directly under. So for this one, it's number 2, gather input on call. So that's what we're going to select, and then we're going to select digits, is, and then number 1. And then I'm just going to label this call input again. Actually, maybe we'll do call input number 2. Okay, so let's add another branch for number 2. Same thing again. And then go ahead and hit save. Okay, now because we're using the same amount of digits in all 3 or all 4 of these options, once you've created this one, you can go ahead and clone this here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back into it and you're going to change out it. You're going to change it out to number 3, gather input on call. Digits is 1, so this is just to make sure it matches this right here. And then we'll do the same thing here. Gather number 3, digits is 2. And then lastly, we'll do it here for 3. And go ahead and hit save. Okay. So now let's continue building out our first input. So now we need to fill out number 1. Option 1 was going to be to get a free estimate. So for this one, we can go ahead and send them a message. So for instance, if you have an estimate form on a website or funnel page, maybe when they select that option, you want to go ahead and send it to them. So we could say send estimate form, and then go ahead and write in your message. Okay, so now I've gotten my message written out, and I went ahead and used custom fields. So keep in mind, if you use a custom field like the contact first name, if the person calling in is not an existing contact in your system, then the only field or value the system will have on them is going to be their phone number. So in this case, it will just skip putting the first name here, and the message will look like this if they don't have a first name within your system. So let's leave that there. Let's go ahead and hit save. Okay. And now additionally, we want to go ahead and put in a message. So I'm going to select the plus, scroll down to IVR, and then we're going to hit say or play message. So for this message, we just want to let them know that they've been sent the estimate form for them to fill out, and a brief, if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us again. Something like that. So let's go ahead and create that real quick. Okay, so now I've completed my inputs for input 1, 2, and 3, and where I want to redirect the caller. So as you can see here, for input number 1, if they press 1 to get a free estimate, it's going to thank them for requesting an estimate, and it's going to send the link to the estimate form directly to their phone number. For option 2, we're going to send them a text with our calendar link for them to book an appointment. And then for option 3, we're going to connect them with a sales representative. Additionally, for input number 2, if they report that they're having an issue, we're going to send them a text message with a ticket form where they can submit what the issue is. And then for option 2, we're going to send them a link with our support calendar so they can schedule a call with us. And then for number 3, again, we're going to connect them with the next available support representative. And then finally, for input number 3, our key one is going to be sending them a text with a link for them to submit their inquiry, and number 2 is going to connect them with a representative. And then of course input number 0, for these we're just going to redirect them based on if they press 1, 2, or 3 to the following inputs. So let's go ahead and paste these in. So let's go back into our GoHighLevel account. Let's go ahead and scroll down. So for option 1, we're going to not only send them an SMS, but we want to also add in a message. So let's scroll all the way down here to say/play message. Let's go to our document, and we're going to copy our key 1 message. So go ahead and copy this, and then we're going to paste it into the text to say box. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and hit save action. All right, now we're going to do the same thing for number 2. We're actually going to copy the text message option, and then we're going to label this send calendar link. And then we're going to copy our say or play message. So go ahead and copy this action here. and then we're going to paste in our key to message here. And then we're going to go ahead and hit save. We'll do the same thing for number 3. So go ahead and copy this message, copy the say or play message action here, and then we're going to paste this in. Now for number 3, whoops. Okay, for number 3, because we're going to go ahead and connect them with a representative, we're not going to send them a text message. So instead we're going to add another action, scroll all the way down to IVR again, and we're going to select connect to call. Now in the connect to call action, you can actually select the phone number of the user that you want this to call. So we'll go ahead and select our user. Go ahead and select whether you want the call to be recorded or not recorded, and then the timeout that you would like. Let's do 60, and then the time limit or the minimum duration of the connected call. So let's go ahead and hit save. Okay, now once you've done that, the next thing you're going to want to add here is an if-else sequence for if the call is not answered. So let's scroll down, let's add an if-else, and we'll put in the condition, did call connect, question mark. So for this one, this would say no, it did not. So for our segments, we're going to scroll down to where it says IVR connect call. Number 1 connect call status is, we're going to say no answer. And then additionally, we're going to add another segment to this. We're going to select or, same thing, IVR connect call. Number 1 connect call status is busy. And then additionally, we're going to also select, so we have no answer, we have busy, we're going to do canceled as well. Okay, and then we're going to hit save. Now from here, if they were not able to get in touch with our sales representative, we want to send them another text message, or not another text message, we want to send them another voice message that lets them know that representatives are currently busy and to leave a message. Okay, so now we've added in our message in here. So we're basically saying, we're sorry, our representatives are currently busy. Please leave us your name and number and we will get back with you. So go ahead and save that. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the voicemail action. So if you scroll all the way down, you're going to select record voicemail. And then in here, you can change the name. We're going to keep it as record voicemail. And then for stop recording after, so we're going to give them 15 seconds. So what this means is after 15 seconds of silence, it'll automatically stop recording. And then additionally, you can select it to stop recording on key press. So if they press 0 through 9, star, or the pound key, it can stop recording. And then you can also select the maximum recording length. So let's go ahead and save that. Okay. Now, additionally, another thing that we can do here is we can add in custom values. So that way we can track what their input is when they first call in. And then additionally, we could track whether they were able to get in touch with our sales representative or not. So let's go ahead and add in some custom fields here. So let's go out of our workflow. We'll go into the settings of our account to custom fields, and then go into your folders and create a folder called IVR details. So just go ahead and add a new folder, title it IVR details, select the object as contact, and then hit save. And then from there, you're going to create 3 custom fields. So the first one is going to be directory number dialed. So let's go ahead and create this one. Copy here. Okay, so you're going to add a new field. It's going to be single line. And then you're going to select directory number dialed. So let's put this, let's label this number 1, because this is going to be off of the first directory message. And let's hit save. Okay, and let's create another field called directory. So we'll do number 2, directory number dialed. And then we'll do one final one, which is going to be number 3, directory number dialed. Okay. Now additionally, we're going to create another text field that's going to say call connect status is. Okay, so let's go to add a new field, single line. Go ahead and put in call connect status is and then hit save. And then the last one is going to be for voicemail. So let's go ahead and create that real quick. So go to add field, single line, voicemail, and then hit save. So now we have our custom fields. Let's go back and add these into our automation. So let's go into our workflow. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add into our if-else sequencing our custom fields. So we're going to add a new action. We're going to select to update, create/update contact. We're going to add field, and this is going to be the number 1 directory number dialed. And then we're going to select IVR gather, number 1 gather input on call digits. So this will automatically input the digit that they dialed. And then additionally, in order to save this, we need to pair it with the phone number. So we'll do phone, and then we'll do contact phone, and then hit save. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and clone this action because this is going to be the same action for the first if-else sequence. Okay, so now let's continue. So we've created our input for number 1. It's going to update the contact field. It's going to gather additional input, and then based on that input, it's going to go ahead and send out either a text or connect a call. So then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to add in our custom field again. So we want to update our contact. Okay, so we're going to update number 2, directory number dialed, go into IVR gather, digits, and then hit save. Okay, and so now that we have that, we can go ahead and clone this for number 2, and then go ahead and clone it for number 3. Okay, so now we have that tracking, and then go ahead and hit save. Now then, let's continue with our number 2 step. So for this one, we need to add in basically exactly what we did for number 1. So let's just copy this action here. And then go ahead and copy these 2 below. Okay. And now let's go ahead and adjust the updated field. So this one is now going to turn into the IVR gather for number 3. And then hit save. And then we're just going to copy all actions from here. And then we'll go ahead and copy the number 3 action for input number 1. So let's go ahead and copy all actions from here and go ahead and paste that into number 3 right here. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and adjust our messaging for the say or play a message action. So let's go back into our document and go ahead and copy our key messages. Okay, so now that's done. Now we just need to adjust the text messages. Okay, so now we have finished with number 3, or number 2, so now we can go ahead and do number 3. So for number 3, we're going to go ahead and copy our if-else sequence. Actually, let's go ahead and copy all of this. So we're going to do copy all actions from here, and then paste them right under the third input. And then we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, where we're going to update the contact field. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and go to tag, IVR gather, and select number 4, gather input on call, and then digits. Go ahead and hit save. And then additionally, what we can do is we can actually go into the one that we've adjusted and copy this, and then go back into these two and just paste it in. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and paste in our key messaging. So this one for number 1. And then this one for number 2. Okay. Now for this one, we don't even need the number 3 option. We're just going to basically do 2 options here. So let's go ahead and move all of these actions to input number 2, and then go back and do our if-else sequencing, and let's remove number 3 here. Okay, and let's go ahead and save. Okay, so for our text message, if they select number 1, so press 1 to leave your inquiry, this one is going to send them or say to them a thank you message, and it's going to send them a text message with a link that they can use to submit their inquiry. And then additionally, if they hit number 2 is going to connect them to a representative. So it'll be the same steps as number 1 and then number 2. Okay, so lastly, we need to fix number 0. So if they hit number 0, it's going to repeat all the options to them again. And then based on that, we're going to have to add in an if-else sequence. So for this, okay, so let's add our if-else sequencing here. Okay, we're going to do IVR gather. Gather number 5, digits is 1. So we're just going to do the same thing. Call input. Okay, this one's going to be number 2. So go to IVR gather, gather number 5, digits is 2. Okay. And then go ahead and hit save. Now from here, we're going to use the go to step to go to the actions we have created here. So let's go ahead and search go to, hit save, and let's scroll all the way over here and go to create/update contact. Then we're going to add another go to step for number 2. Okay, so that one's going to be right here. And then let's go ahead and add one in for number 3. Okay, so now we have our workflow. Let's go ahead and test our IVR automation. So we're going to go ahead and call this number here.
Hi, thank you for calling demo account. Let us get you in touch with the right person. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for support. Press 3 for inquiries. To repeat this menu, press 0. Thank you for calling demo account. Press 1 for sales. Press 2 for support. Press 3 for inquiries. Press 1 for sales. Press 2. Press 1 to get a free estimate. Press 2 to schedule a consultation. Press 3 to speak to a live agent. Press 1 to get a free estimate. Press 2 to... Thank you for requesting an estimate. We have sent you a text and email containing a free estimate form. Please complete the form to receive your free estimate. Thank you for reaching out to demo account. Have a great day.
Okay, so I went through that sequence. The first thing I did was I called in, I clicked 0 and had it repeat the options to me. And then I went ahead and I clicked number 1 to speak to sales. It went ahead and gave me the message. From there, I clicked 1 again for a free estimate. And it went ahead and updated my contact field, sent me a text, and then played me that final message before ending the call. So let's go ahead and test the text message that was sent. So let's go into conversations. And then here it is, as you can see. So this is the text that was sent. And then it also shows here that there was an IVR call. So you can also track that as well. So let's go back into our automations. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of different variables with what you can do with the IVR system. This is just a brief example, but you can really tailor it to your business and what your business needs are. I have seen people on YouTube doing the IVR for, free estimates or transferring to a live agent. So I've seen where the first message is just going to say something like hi, or not even hi, it's going to say thank you for reaching out to, location name, press 1 to get a free estimate. And then if they press 1, it immediately sends them a text message with the estimate form. And then from there, I believe they put them into a nurture sequence. So you can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and link the snapshot for this in the description. As you can see here, the first IVR I did was very simple. It was a simple 3 options. So option 1 was sales, 2 was support, and 3 was inquiry. And then based on if they went to sales, it was going to just do a call connect to a sales representative. If they went to a support, it was going to call connect to a support representative. And then if they requested to leave an inquiry, it was just going to record a voicemail for them. Now, another thing I want to mention is I noticed that when you do the voicemail action for the IVR feature, it does not show the voicemail inside of the conversations tab. So normally when somebody calls in and somebody answers and the call is recorded, it will show up in conversations. So it'll show up like this, but there'll be like a play button and you can actually hear it. With the IVR voicemail feature inside automations, you actually have to go to automations, go into the workflow directly, go to enrollment history, find the contact that you're looking for that left that message, and then go to view execution history. And then from there, you have to scroll to where it says record IVR. And then from here, you can go ahead and view details, and you can actually see and listen to the voicemail. And then you can download it from here as well. But you can't listen to the voicemail unless you go into here. So yeah, that was it for my first video on IVR and creating your own IVR system, just to get you a better idea of how it works and kind of what you can do with it. I'm going to be doing additional videos on IVR specific to industries. So for instance, we'll do one on pharmacy, we'll do one on restaurants, do one on solar, really niching down to how this can be utilized and used. If you guys have any questions about IVR or any ideas, feel free to leave a comment down below. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Again, if you're a business and you're looking for something like this, CRM like this, we are doing a end of year special. So our end of year special, you're going to get the full capabilities of the CRM, including the IVR feature. And then additionally, we're going to give you an AI ChatGPT integration for automated messaging with your customers. And we're also going to give you an identity resolution pixel. So if you'd like to learn more about that, I'll go ahead and link that video as well as the link to that page in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.